Everybody, welcome back to the Spurs 9501 podcast. We're doing a quick podcast now with our fellow Spurs fan Cam in the US after the 3-2 defeat to Galatasaray in the UEFA Europa League, actually. So, Cam, how you doing and what do you think after that defeat?
I'm doing well, thanks, Ray, to ask. I mean, interesting defeat. I think it's been an interesting week for Spurs, to be honest with you. And it'll be interesting just to go through and see what our views are. There's some pros and there are some cons, but I think it's really, again, comes down to what is going through the manager's mind and what is his long-term strategy, because I think that this is we're at a crossroads here of what could have been a season for, excuse me, a great season for us, which is turning out again Spurs not taking advantage of all the other teams around them falling down. So I
Yeah.
think that the biggest issue is what Postecoglou could have done that he hasn't done.
But having said that, playing 4 games, we've won three. We're still in a good position to qualify for the Europa League. But what do you think about Postecoglou going with a weakened team with Lancashire and Archie Gray and Bergvall and all these guys in the team? What do you think about that? Or should he have stuck to a strong team?
I mean, look at Galatasaray's team. That was a very strong team. I think that most of those players will probably have made it into our first
Yeah,
11.
they're all ex-Premier
Galatasaray.
League, a lot of them, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some fantastic players there, fantastic players. Excuse me. Probably a better, stronger team than ours, apart from Davinson and Sanchez, excuse me, which we probably could have done with. Um, I don't get it. I mean, when you come out and you announce to the whole world that I always win a trophy in my second term, and then you go against what is a team that is potentially going to win this championship, and you let yourself put out a very, very weak team can when you have good players on the bench, I don't get it. You can't. That's not doing what you actually saying. How is that going about trying to win a trophy when you're putting your best players on the bench? Explain it to me, Ray.
Yeah, no, I don't understand it at all. You meant to be going for all the competitions. I mean, somebody like Dragusin, who everybody was raving about, had an appalling game, a really bad game. Bergvall didn't show. I mean, a lot of these guys are just not up to it at the moment, I think. And when that's the case, you've got to stick to your strongest team and do well. Imagine if we'd won that game, then maybe we could rest some players in the later part of the Europa League because we were already qualified. Now we've got to pay, make sure we get the points to finish in the top eight.
You don't rest your players against Galatasaray. You rest them against some team
Yeah,
in
exactly,
Kazakhstan or
exactly.
against Alkmaar, AZ Alkmaar, whatever, or some of the lower teams.
Yeah.
But why against Galatasaray, which are regularly a Champions League team, and have probably more trophies than we do. The fact is that he got it wrong. His tactics are wrong. His ideas are wrong, and nobody understands it. To uh, back that up, what I would say is we actually played better with 10 men than we did with
I
11
was
once
just
we
about to
brought
say,
some
yeah,
of
we
the
look
good
better with
players
10
on.
men. Yeah.
Yeah, we brought those players on. We brought on some good mid. We brought on Sarr, we brought on Bentancur, we brought on Kulusevski, and Solanke. We looked a different team. They were all there. None of them were not there. They were all there. So, why were they not on in the first place?
I
That's
don't
what
know. I don't
I
know.
don't understand.
I think if to put the alternative point of view, you'd want to play your strongest team to say, look, this is one of the top teams in Europe. How can we do head to head with one of the best teams? How we do? Instead, he puts in a weakened team, played rubbish, lost the game, and now he's going to be under pressure in the
And
later start of
lucky
this tournament.
And lucky to lose 3-2, right? I mean,
Very
let's
lucky. Very
analyze the
lucky.
game. There were so many chances there,
Yeah.
little offsides here and there, and a
Yeah.
few other close misses. I mean, very lucky.
Very lucky. Very lucky. Very lucky. So, just what's your main gripe about? I mean, is it just the tactics and the team selection? Anything else he could have done differently?
I think the team selection is the number one issue here. I think the timing of bringing on players and changing it is another issue. I could have changed it at half time a bit earlier on. I mean, Lancashire did a great goal, well done. But I mean, leaving him on until he got sent off was a mistake. As
Yeah.
a 19-year-old, got the first yellow card, take him straight off, put somebody else on. I mean, what was that all about? Um, I'd have to say that we're all beginning to eat a little bit of humble pie when it comes to Solanke. It was a great goal that he took. He did two good goals against Aston Villa, which were fantastic. So hopefully this is the start of something. I really
Yeah,
hope so.
you were the one. You need to eat a bit of humble pie there, Cam, because you're saying he's rubbish and all that. So he just needs like any striker needs service. Give him service, and he will score. I think.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and I'd love that to happen, and I
Yeah, I
hope
know
that
you
is
would.
the
Yeah,
case.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll reserve a bit of judgment.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
fine. That's fine. Yeah, yeah,
goals are goals. I
yeah.
mean, I say one thing, and that is that look at his record so far compared to Richarlison, who got one goal in his whole season in his
Mm.
first season with us. It's just no comparison,
How many
really.
goals has Solanke got this season then?
I think he's about 5 or 6 now.
Yeah. But the thing is, what we got to remember, he's been brought in to score goals. He's not been brought in to score spectacular goals. So I don't care if it comes off his knee or comes off his shin or it's a poking. I don't care. If he's in the right place at the right time to score, that's what I care about. So good,
Yes.
good on him. I think he's doing well and hopefully it will continue. What's your general thoughts about the Europa League? Is it something you think we can win, or is it just something we're going to go deep in and then get knocked out when we meet a good team?
I don't think we can win this. I think there are too many bigger teams out there. I mean, it showed today that that desire to win it is not there because if you'd gone in here and matched Galatasaray at home
Yeah.
in that cauldron of a stadium and put a team out and beat them, I would say, yep, we definitely are there. We are beating some of the biggest teams in this league, but we
Mm,
were never in this game. The
mm,
scoreline flatters us. That's my point.
mm,
And the fact that he chose to put the team out that he didn't believe he was going to win it. He
mm.
did not set out a team against Galatasaray with the players that they have, big name players, big, let's say, face it, big name players, to
Yeah.
win. To say that you're going to win against the Osimhens, Martins, and some of the other big players, right?
Icardi,
With yeah,
Ziyech.
with Gray and Bergvall, Lancashire, you are taking the piss.
That is taking a pick. And that was a bit of snub to Galatasaray, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Galatasaray is a snub to him saying, look, we don't need to play our best team to beat you. Well, you did because you couldn't beat them. But let me
Well,
ask you a question. Why didn't we go Osimhen? He's on loan at Galatasaray. Surely we could have taken him on loan, couldn't we?
unbelievable, unbelievable, isn't it? Because any of the great players that are out there will not be coming to Spurs. I don't know. I mean, what a player! I mean,
What are
what goal?
goals? What are those goals he scored? He's a true finisher. He should have had a hat trick, really.
Yeah,
But he would come to Spurs. You pay the money.
he would
There's no
come.
capital outlay. It's only a recurring monthly wages. All right, it might be 300K a week or whatever, but still, it's
Worth
worth it, I
every
think.
penny. Worth
Worth
every
every penny.
penny.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. But I mean, this is how Spurs run their business,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, we'd rather spend 65 million on Solanke, no disrespect to him, but he's no Osimhen, is he?
No, he's not. He's not. He's not. No, if we'd have paid, if we got him, if we didn't get team, I thought we were going to lose once I heard that Timo Werner wasn't on the team sheet. So we
Look,
didn't
I
do
mean, Werner can put in some really good balls.
he
Werner's
can
maybe
do.
not be a goal scorer, but his pace
Yeah.
and his crossing
Can't
is
finish to
good.
save his life though.
No, he can't. But if he had better finishers at the end of his crosses,
Yeah.
he'd get a lot more assists.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, who is he putting the ball into? Richarlison can't bloody do anything. And Solanke is, he's not the best finisher either. So
Mm.
the fact is that we can attack this guy as much as we want. He's not there to score goals. He's there to create goals. And I think in that sense, a lot of the time he's doing his bit.
Okay. Now we didn't have a chance to chat after the Villa match. What are your quick thoughts about the beating of Villa?
Well, I think that beating of Villa was great. We started off awfully for worst first half I've probably ever seen, as opposed to probably one of the best second halves I've seen. I mean, and it shows that perseverance really works. I like the way the team came back and the way that obviously Solanke was the hero there, turning it around and turning his own personal fortunes around. And it shows once you score how that can really boost up your confidence. However, my biggest gripe here is Ray is actually Arsenal are stumbling, City are stumbling, Villa are stumbling. Obviously, Spurs are also stumbling.
Liverpool are not stumbling though, are they?
Liverpool are not stumbling. Forest are not stumbling. Chelsea are half sort of stumbling, but not so badly. And all those games that we've lost, those stupid games that we lost earlier on in the season when we
Yeah.
couldn't get our act together, right? Where would we have been now? Because
Yeah.
this is to
Don't
me.
Cam, don't go there. It's always what could have been. That's always the case with us. If
The
we'd have
thing
won it,
is,
if we'd have won that.
this season feels to me very much like that Leicester season,
Yeah.
where all the teams around them were stumbling, and then it was an opportunity for someone to come in from nowhere and
Yeah.
win the league, right? If we were ever going to have a chance of getting up there or doing anything, it was this season. And you know what? He didn't take it. Postecoglou did not take those opportunities. The easy games he lost, won some tough ones, but the easy games he lost. Brighton 2-0 up, Palace 1-0 down. Newcastle, thump by Newcastle. Those are the games, right? Which basically, when those three would have been at the top of the league.
Yeah, well, it's could have, should have, did that, all that stuff. It never works.
So
You know what it's
I'm
like. It's
just
all,
saying,
huh?
I'm just saying, I
I know.
mean,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
but what
Okay,
we're saying here is we're not doing it. We're not going to take advantage of
no, we're not gonna.
anybody else's
No.
bad fortune and stumbling. I mean, they are stumbling. Look at
Yeah.
Arsenal. The only pleasure I'm getting now is watching Arsenal play so badly.
Yep. 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 I understand. And what's your thoughts for the weekend? We're playing Ipswich, is it? I'm not sure if it's away or home. I can't remember, but
I think it's
we
at
sh
home.
we should beat them, surely, shouldn't we?
Well, everybody else has, so I mean, they need to turn their season around. So they're coming to see Doctor
Dr.
Tottenham.
Tottenham. Yeah. Looks like we're going to give them their first win as well. Do you reckon?
So I
Okay,
I
Kev.
think he's a good mid-table bullier. He's definitely a bottom of the bottom half of the table bully, and he'll
Yeah.
probably bully them into submission. I wouldn't be surprised if Ipswich get the first goal. They tend to do that quite a
Yeah.
lot, and we then go on to win. But I'm not expecting anything drastic to happen
No.
at this one.
Okay, Cam. Final thoughts before we close the podcast.
Final thoughts is if you want to win something, you've got to put out your best teams and you've got to show the world that you mean business, that you want to win. This coach don't mean business, and he proved it today.
Yeah, it's not like we got two first teams that we can just flip flop. Our second team is appalling. Our first team is pretty
There
good,
is
so
no
we've got to stick
second
with the
team.
first team. Yeah,
We barely got a first team.
yeah, I know, I agree. Come on, you Spurs,
Come on, you Spurs.
and we'll see you on the next podcast, everybody. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.